I have no idea how this happened, but we're here already. Yes, folks, ever since I started doing this series every month, it's just been like time is on just some fast forward. I don't know what happened, but August is done, and now it's time to talk about September horror films. Good evening, campers, dreamers, and babysitters, and welcome back to this month's Gorecast, where this time we're going to be looking at 10 films, yes, 10, that you should check out in the month of September. Now, just like last time, the first 4 of these are going to be essentially honorable mentions, just letting you guys know about a couple of films, some of them being smaller, a few of them are bigger, just that I think are worth mentioning, and then once we get into the top 6, that's when we start talking about the ones I'm really, really looking forward to, and the reasons why I think you should be too. So with that out of the way, let's hop into these 10 films, and of course, if you're new here, or if you haven't done so yet, please hit that subscribe button. We are on our way to 7,000 subs, and looking forward to getting there. And yeah, we just do this every single month. This is a new thing, we're doing it, and yeah, we're about 3 months into it, so let's keep it rolling. And yeah, let's just get into the movies. Starting things off with, of course, our honorable mentions, these 4 films will be listed in release order. So kicking things off with, of course, the big one, the one that I think many people are looking forward to. I know it's not necessarily a traditional horror film, but it is very, very spooky and definitely hits on those Halloween vibes. And of course, I'm talking about Beetlejuice, which is coming to us on the 6th. So right out at the start of the month, we are getting a pretty giant film. I know many people have been anticipating this one. I personally, I like the first Beetlejuice. I think it's fine. I like Michael Keaton a lot, and I like Winona Ryder, but I am kind of not the biggest fan of Tim Burton. I like some of his movies. I think Big Fish is excellent. Of course, I love Edward Scissorhands. But this one, I don't know, ever since, like, the early 2000s, Tim Burton for me has just not hit. But I'm honestly a little bit more optimistic about this. If I'm being completely truthful, I wasn't into this, and then I saw a trailer before some movies over the summer, and I don't know, it's just the tone and everything. Maybe it's that the thing that I had with The Flash, where I see Michael Keaton coming back to a classic role, and it gets me excited. Who the hell knows? But I will be seeing this one soon. I'm going to a press screening, so you guys will have an early review out for Beetlejuice, and we'll see how I feel about it. Next up, coming out on the 13th, we have a film called Hereafter. This one is the one that I really don't know a lot about. I'm actually surprised to see that this is a Paramount release. It's pretty much just your stereotypical kind of dramatic horror thriller, it seems, where a girl, her daughter basically almost dies and then is resuscitated only to have some kind of entity or spirit come back with her. And yeah, a lot of weird shit starts happening after that. I'm not 100% sold on this one. Again, I've only seen the trailer once, and I think this is supposed to be a theatrical release. It's just, that's what everything I've seen, but they are not marketing this film at all. Again, this was one that I only found when I was looking for films to add to this list, but because this was the one that I didn't know anything about, I figured I would include it in case this seems like it might be something you're interested in. And for my final 2 picks for the bottom 4 here, and I'm mentioning both of them now just because they're both coming out on the same day, we have Never Let Go and Bagman. Never Let Go, I am cautiously optimistic about. Now, I love Alexander Aja. I think that he is fantastic. I loved Crawl. I love Piranha. His take on The Hills Have Eyes is one of my favorite horror remakes. But for me, I just don't know. I feel like this trailer has done nothing but set up that there is going to be a twist in this, and that it is going to be that Halle Berry is crazy, and that it's all in her head, and she's convinced her kids that, you know, none of this is actually happening. There are no, you know, entities or creatures in the woods that are going to get us. I'm just very concerned about that. It seems like that would be a very, very common thing for writers to try to do, to kind of be like, oh, look, it's a really creative, cool twist. But I don't know. I have more hope that Aja wouldn't lean towards that way, but we're just going to have to wait and see. And finally, we have Bagman, that is also coming out on the 20th. Man, I don't know. This movie, it's basically a guy returning to his childhood home. He's basically struggling with kind of some fears and I guess some things from his past. And there seems to be this doll or something that is, kind of luring children away from their homes and getting people abducted. It just screams generic, mediocre horror to me, and I just don't know if this is one that I even want to check out. I mean, if I hear good things, I might go back and do this. Maybe if it's an off weekend for us, we can, which I'm going to tell you right now, it won't be, because we will be at Fantastic Fest during this film's release. But I don't know, man. This just seems like it's just going to hit on so many things we've seen before. And I'm just not here for it. I just think that we've seen this plot a dozen times, and I'm afraid that it's just going to be completely generic. If you guys think I'm wrong and I'm being too harsh on Bagman, please let me know. Defend it down in the comments, and yeah, we'll go from there. But that is the bottom four. Let's move into the top six. Coming in at number 6 and coming out on September 6th, we have The Demon Disorder. The film tells the story of Graham, Jake, and Philip Riley and their deceased father. Their paths collide when a family secret is discovered, leading their father's garage to become the site of revenge from beyond the grave. As of recording this right now, I've actually seen The Demon Disorder. Our review is going to be live this coming Labor Day, so if you're looking forward to hearing my thoughts on it, you can check it out there with Luke. But yeah, I was very excited about this movie. I think that Australian horror is something you do not discount these days. They are absolutely crushing it, and I am just super, super pleased with the outcome on this, not to go too deep into it. But I think that this is going to be a lot of fun. There are a lot of great practical effects in this trailer, and the film absolutely delivers on that. So you should definitely keep your eye out for this bad boy. It is going to be streaming on Shudder, like I said, on September 6th, and I think this is definitely one that's worth sitting down and checking out. It's kind of similar, not as hardcore, but has a lot of the same notes and similarities and tastes to something like When Evil Lurks. Now, mind you, again, not as hardcore, not as in-your-face, holy shit, as When Evil Lurks, but definitely very interesting and gives you a lot of unique ways to tell a possession story. Coming in at number 5, we have Booger, coming out on September 13th. After the death of her best friend Izzy, Anna focuses all her attention on Booger, a stray cat which she and Izzy took in. When Booger bites her, she begins to undergo a strange transformation. I love my pets, I do. I am a cat guy. I have 4 cats with my wife and dog. And you know what? When you talk about a cat biting somebody and then going under some kind of a strange transformation, you can kind of guess where this film is going. I'm all for it, man. I think this looks absolutely strange and weird, and it's Dark Sky Films, so you know that they're going to give the little guy a shot here, and I absolutely am so behind this concept. I just hope that they can pull it off well, because again, this is one of those things where it's a strong concept, but if they don't have all of their ducks in a row behind the scenes to really lay this out as an impactful, interesting, like, kind of way to execute the story, then you might just get some cool effects, and that's about it. But I think from the trailer, Booger looks like it's going to absolutely deliver on the strangeness, the weirdness, and a little bit of comedy for good measure. So definitely check out Booger on September 13th. Number 4 promises to be something pretty special, and that is The Substance, which comes to us on September 20th. A fading celebrity decides to use a black market drug, a cell-replicating substance that temporarily creates a younger, better version of herself. The Substance seems very Cronenberg-esque. I mean, I know when you say body horror, Cronenberg really comes to mind, but this just seems like a wild concept, and I am so here for it. This movie looks like it's going to be insane when it comes to just how they're kind of marketing it and pushing it. I mean, it looks like they are taking some big swings, not only with the material itself, but strangely enough, with kind of the way that they're shooting this seems like there's going to be a lot of very interesting angles, a lot of very strange ways of moving the camera and kind of how they're going to orientate it. I am super excited for it, though. I think that this looks like it's going to be a mind bender, and it looks like it's going to be not only fun, sexy, and all around horrific. So I'm all for it. It's a long one. It's coming in at 2 hours and 20 minutes, but hopefully those are 2 hours and 20 minutes of unforgettable body horror greatness. So yeah, I will definitely be doing all I can to track down a screener for The Substance. I have not had any luck on that front, I should say, on that yet, so I've not seen it, of course. But if not, then I will be making sure to get out there and check this one out for sure. Moving into my number 3 pick, and that is going to Creeping Death. Yes, a Screambox exclusive, which will be available on September 10th. And boy howdy, I have been really looking forward to this one. Let's get into that description. Halloween was always Tim's favorite holiday, until his mother was diagnosed with brain cancer. Now, all he wants is a quiet night in. That is quickly disrupted when his friends pay him an unwanted visit after stealing a mysterious sack from the doorstep of a crazy local. Creeping Death popped up on my radar probably about a month and a half ago or so. I saw that Screambox had acquired it, but the guys actually who were behind this ended up following us on Twitter, and they had been posting about it, so I had been kind of seeing a little bit of what this movie entails and what it looks like very early on. And this just absolutely feels like it's going to hit those Halloween vibes that I'm always searching for when it comes to a good October horror film. I think that they seem to have a really, really great grasp on just how to kind of set us into those cool October night vibes, and I am so excited for something like that. We already have our screener in lock. I'm actually about to watch it after I record this video, so I hope that it lives up to the hype that I'm giving it. But I'm really interested in this. Anything that can kind of, go toe-to-toe with some of my favorite Halloween films, like, of course, Halloween, Trick or Treat, I am here for it. I would love to have another little indie darling to add to that collection. So time will tell on this one, but again, this is a Screambox exclusive, so if you guys are already subscribed, you're getting this thing on September 10th, and I absolutely think that you should support this and the filmmakers involved. It just looks awesome. Coming into my number 2 pick, we have The Front Room, which will be available on September 6th. The Front Room tells the story of a newly pregnant couple who are forced to take in an ailing, estranged stepmother. I'm not going to bury the lead any further here, folks. I am excited for this primarily because, one, it's A24, and anytime they produce a horror movie, there's chances it's going to be pretty damn weird, pretty interesting, and probably right up my alley. But the big one has to be that this is written and directed by Max and Sam Eggers. Yes, brothers of Robert Eggers. So, yeah, they got some big, big shoes to fill. And this movie looks weird. This looks like it could be kind of like that Barbarian style film where it's like, you think it's going to be one thing, but it could go in a completely crazy other direction. I've only seen this trailer one time in theaters, and I'm staying away from it because I'm already sold on that. The brothers already have, kind of a big push for me because of their older brother. And I'm excited to see if maybe the filmmaking genes have spread not just to Robert, but maybe to Max and Sam as well. I'm also very curious to see Brandy Norwood come back and do something here. So it's exciting to see her back on the big screen, which, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I think this looks like it could be very interesting, but sadly, if this doesn't deliver, I don't think that I don't think that that's going to be that shocking either. So I don't know. I'm going in with the best intentions, the best optimism, and yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. And of course, always saving the best for last, my number 1 pick is Azrael, coming out on September 27th. In a world where no one speaks, a devout, female-led community hunts down a young woman who has escaped imprisonment. Recaptured, Azrael is due to be sacrificed to an ancient evil in the wilderness, but fights for her own survival. There are far too many reasons why this film is my number one of September, and I'm just going to start listing those off. Of course, coming in first, we have Samara Weaving taking the lead actress spot here, and I love Samara Weaving. Everybody does. She is just one of those up-and-coming actresses who anytime you see her on screen, you know it's going to be a bloody good time. But really where my heart lies in this one and why I'm excited is because this comes from both Eli Katz as the director, who worked on things such as Swamp Thing, which I think is horribly underrated, and Simon Barrett, who you guys will mostly know him from working on films like The Guest and You're Next. He's the writer for both of those, but he penned the script on this one, and I am just so excited to see what he comes up with and what this team is able to produce. The movie looks creepy, it looks freaky. I'm very, very interested. I'm getting some Village vibes from this one, and yeah, I think that this is going to probably be my favorite film of the month. I'm hoping. I think everything is kind of lining up for it to fall that way. But yeah, for me, this is an absolute must watch. I'm so excited to check this out. You get a little bit of those folk horror vibes with this one, as well as just kind of that interesting idea of having this world where nobody speaks, there's no dialogue. It just seems very, very exciting to me. This also got a lot of praise early on in the year alongside films like Cuckoo, and then of course what was it, In a Violent Nature. Yes, it was very early on, I think at the Toronto International Film Festival. So yeah, I was super duper excited when this thing got picked up by Shudder and IFC. So yeah, I think this is gonna have a limited theatrical run, but you can definitely catch it in theaters or on Shudder later on in the year. So definitely check out Azrael. I think it's gonna be a winner. There you have it, folks. That is another month in the books. And oh, lordy, we got a big one coming up next, folks. Yes, we're moving into October. We're going to have Splatterthon going on during that month, but it's going to be crazy. This will probably be the first video to kick off Splatterthon. Maybe I'm going to talk to Luke and kind of see what we want to do. I think we're going to tag team the next one, so you might see both of us on there. But yeah, I've still enjoyed doing this. I think this is fun. Again, it gives me kind of a way to really wrap up my month and see kind of where I want to put my chips as far as requesting screeners and getting reviews out. It also does let me know what you guys are looking forward to, so I can definitely try to curate some of our videos to reflect some more of that. But yeah, I mean, that's the month for us. So let me know down below what you're looking forward to. Were there any movies I left off of this list that you're looking forward to and you're like, dude, why didn't you talk about this? I'm sorry, I'm just one person. These are just 10 movies that I felt like gabbing about for a little bit. But yeah, guys, that's everything here. So until next time, I'm Dylan Newell, and remember, stay scared.
Do the hard shit, gonna do it live. Cause Splattercast kick it every day they live. Splattercast, gonna slash your ass. 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 Splattercast, gonna slash your ass.